Hello guys, I am Nidhi Bagalwadi, your science teacher, Sankalp Learning Solutions. Today we are going to discuss regarding chemical properties of metal. Chemical properties of metal. In the last class we studied the chemical properties like what happens when metals react with oxygen, that is air. What happens when metals react with the acids. Okay, this all we studied. And also we also studied regarding the metal oxides and why certain metals are kept under the kerosene. And also we discussed the process of anodizing of the aluminium. What is the use of it, why it has to be done and all. Today we are going to discuss regarding the chemical properties of metal, where what happens when metal reacts with water. What happens when metal reacts with water. Fine. Okay. So here, usually when metal reacts with the water, metal hydroxide. Uh, yeah. So when a metal reacts with the water, so usually metal oxide will be formed with the liberation of hydrogen. Similarly, when metal oxides react with the water, metal hydrogen oxide, that is metal hydroxide will be formed with the liberation of hydrogen. So this we can write the general equation of this as, so when metal reacts with water, it will be convert into metal oxide plus hydrogen will be liberated, hydrogen gas. Next, when metal oxide reacts with water, we will get metal hydroxide. Okay, so we have many metals, so we can't say all the metals will react with the water. For example, the most reactive metals like sodium and potassium, they will react very vigorously, very violently with the water. Okay, so they will react in such a way that when they react, the particular oxide will be formed with the liberation of hydrogen as well as a lot amount of or enormous amount of heat energy. That is why these reactions are considered as exothermic when metals like sodium and potassium reacts with the water. They react very vigorously, very readily. Okay, so let us see. When sodium reacts with the water, sodium will be in a solid form, water will be in a liquid form. So we will get sodium hydroxide, okay, aqueous solution, plus hydrogen gas will be liberated, plus we will get heat energy. So heat energy is released. That is why this is called exothermic reaction. The heat energy is released so much that hydrogen with the gas which is released during that time, due to this heat energy, it readily catches fire. Okay, now H2O, is there. Fine, if I do this 2Na, so 2Na, 2 twos are 4, 2 4 happens. So if I want to balance it, 2Na, 2Na, 2 twos are 4, 2H, 2 4, then 2O, 2O. Okay, it is balanced. Similarly, when potassium reacts with the water, potassium will be in a solid form, water will be in a liquid form. So we will get KOH, potassium hydroxide, that is nothing, potassium hydroxide. Then we will get hydrogen with enormous amount of energy. Okay, so this is how a reaction of sodium and potassium takes place with water. Okay, this is the condition when sodium and potassium, very reactive metals, combine or react with the water. Certain metals like calcium, so certain metals like calcium, if you take calcium, when they react with water, okay, so when the calcium react with water, so we will get calcium hydroxide, so calcium solid, calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so the hydrogen gas which is released, the hydrogen gas which is released, it is not, it will not catch fire because whatever amount of heat energy released, it will be very less. Okay, certain metals react very less reactive with the water. They react very, we can say very weakly with the water. That we can say that these react less violent. Calcium is less violent with water, and potassium and sodium are more violent with water. And certain metals like magnesium, okay, certain metals like magnesium, they will not react with the water. They will not react with the cold water. They react with the hot water. They react with the hot water. Okay, to give magnesium hydroxide. Okay, so here in both the cases, that is letters A, B, C, D. Okay, in both the cases like C and D, the heat is evolved, but it is not so much that the hydrogen will catch the fire. These are less violent. These are less violent. Okay, so these are less violent means what happens, whatever the hydrogen gas released, it will not catch fire means these hydrogen gas, the bubbles of hydrogen gas will combine with the magnesium or with the element, so that that calcium and magnesium will be floating. The floating is due to the accumulation of the hydrogen on their surface, on the surface, so that they will be floating. Okay, they appear to float. These both appear to float. They will not appear, they will actually float. It is due to the bubbles of hydrogen on their surface. Next we have yeah. Next we have certain metals like aluminium, zinc, iron. They will not readily react with the water. They will react with the water, but when water will be in the form of steam. So when aluminium reacts with the water, okay, when aluminium reacts with the water, so we will get aluminium hydroxide with the liberation of hydrogen. We will get aluminium oxide with the liberation. Sorry, it is metal oxide. No? So it is Al2O3 along with the liberation of hydrogen when aluminium reacts with water. When this aluminium oxide reacts with water, we will get aluminium hydroxide. So here water will be in the form of steam. So aluminium will not react with the water. Either it is cold or hot, it will not react with the water. It will react with the water when the water is in the form of steam. Okay. So this is regarding then one more we will take Fe plus H2O, Fe2O3 plus H2. So if we balance this Al2, 2Al, 3 it is 2H. So if I 3O, 3O, 3 2s are 6, 3. Then FeH2, Fe2, H2, H2, 3, 3, 3 2s are 6, 3. Okay. So this is regarding the reaction of the metals with the water. When metals react with the water, metal oxides are formed with the liberation of hydrogen. When metal oxides reacts with the water, metal hydroxides are formed. And it is not that all the metals should react with water. Most of the metals will not react with the water. But some of the metals which are highly reactive, like sodium and potassium, they react with the water in such a way that they will release so much amount of heat energy. That energy makes the hydrogen gas released to catch the fire very soon. Then the metals like calcium and magnesium react less violently with the water. Okay, magnesium at least react with the hot water only. So there the hydrogen gas released will not catch fire because the heat is not produced that much. So here the bubbles of hydrogen will accumulate or will stick to the element or to the metals like calcium and magnesium. This makes them to float. Okay, then aluminium. Okay, the metals like aluminium, iron, zinc, these will not react with the water directly. These will react with the steam. These will react with the steam. So when they react with the steam, we will get aluminium oxide, and here it will be iron oxide with the liberation of hydrogen. So this session was about the reaction of this session was about the reaction of metals with the water. In the upcoming session, we will get to know, or we will learn few more chemical properties of the metals. Until that, take care. Have a nice day.